Hello friends, welcome back to Innovation in Marketing and Marketing of Innovation. And although it is customary for a professor to thank everyone who has been instrumental in this, in an endeavor in the last session, but going ahead of that, I wish to extend my thanks to everyone who has been instrumental in structuring this course and delivering this course through and through at this stage itself. I am very thankful to NPTEL who actually accepted my proposal for this course. They reviewed this course, gave me very pertinent suggestions, and me and my team members, we designed this course accordingly, and then they approved this course. Then I thank the coordinator of the e-learning center here at IIT Roorkee who has been very kind and very supportive. All the team members of the e-learning center who have been very kind and very supportive here, and especially Sarad who has been very supportive, who has been recording this course through and through and has been very precise in his timing and every kind support which he has extended. I also thank two of my TAs, Nandkishore and Neha, who have been very effective in designing, structuring, everything around this course, bringing latest examples, latest texts, all the references which you have seen. They have been digging those references, bringing those references in a pertinent level, at a pertinent level, and then many a times we have been redoing many things at a very short notice, although they have been giving me a short notice as well many a times, but I am thankful to them for being so supportive. Now let us go ahead in terms of culminating this course to a logical level. You see, I would be coming to the logic of this course and justifying that logic in front of you, although I feel that no justification at this stage would be required, because by this time probably you have felt that this course is worthwhile. So, but I would be putting up a logic through a culminating point that this is how we wanted to go ahead and this is where we reached in my concluding session. But here at this stage I want to point out at a very pertinent kind of towards a very pertinent kind of an issue. Many times we are overwhelmed by the innovation which we come up with, and then we get drawn towards the success of that innovation, and then we focus upon propelling that innovation to a larger level, and somehow we reach to a stage wherein we just somehow forget that this innovation brings some repercussions also. And after many stages, when that innovation, after so many stages of that innovation, we somehow realize that what if it did not happen at all. And I am referring to so many things which have been invented and innovated upon, so many products which have come up in due course of time. I would not be denouncing any product, any innovation, any creation, any intelligence at this particular kind of a stage, but I wish to bring to your understanding that whenever we are going for this journey of innovation, we must somehow think in terms of a long term perspective and analyze the gains and losses in totality. We all understand that how to analyze gains and losses. First eliminate a scenario and then look at it, look at the whole scenario, then add one thing and then look at the scenario once again. That is how we may add, we may look at gains and losses in totality. So let us think about many things if they did not happen at all. And to think about that, I want to dwell upon a perspective around the scenario. I want to propose that, first of all, let us start looking around. Let us look around the kind of products we have, and for that you do not have to go far. Start from your mobile phone. Try to find out that what does it take to develop and manufacture a mobile phone. What kind of raw material is required, what kind of skills and knowledge is required, and what else. So just look into and try and think that is there something which which bothers everyone in this manufacturing process? Are there few things which are questionable in manufacturing of this product, and to what extent those are questionable? I am not, as I said, I am not pointing out at anything basically, but let us try and look at it. For example, and I am no expert on these kind of things. So that is why I would not be pinpointedly talking about that this shouldn't be done and this should be done, but I am trying to raise some aspects around. So just Google that how mobile phones are being manufactured, and try and find out that what are the things which people say or scientists say, I should say that experts say and scientists say that this shouldn't be like this. Try and find out about these kind of things. And once you look at this, that yes, some things are questionable, then try to analyze that what kind of losses in terms of as far as this Mother Earth goes, or let us say the socio-economic, cultural, health wise cost, any cost which we are which we can put up front. So try to add up to those kind of things. I am not saying that every time you give it a number, try to roughly imagine. For example, if somehow it has health repercussions, try to look into that what kind of costs we are bearing in terms of productivity of healthy people and unhealthy people, and what kind of monetary costs and so on. One can roughly do that. It's not a rocket science, as the saying says. And once you are looking at that, then you would realize that some cost has been paid. Now try and find out what kind of addition these kind of equipment have done in the development of human race. Try to enumerate those things as well. Then try to go back to the times when these were not there, and trying to find out that have we really gained. Eliminate these from the present scenario. Go to the people and ask them, when you did not have mobile phones, how productive or unproductive you had, what kind of ease you have generated because of this, except for talking now and then. And that data can be fetched from your own mobile phone when your mobile phone tells you that these are the apps you have been using a lot, and you will immediately know that what kind of a productive time you have been spending with your mobile phone. So try and put up these three elements, three comparative scenarios, and try to find out real gains and losses, and you would get to know. Then go towards the transmission technology and try to realize that, and again according to the comments and researches of the experts and scientists only. Do not listen to people like me who are superficially talking about these kind of things with the help of read data or read articles in paper. Although I am sitting in a very eminent institution and I often meet scientists and they tell me the realities, but I am not the expert on that. So I just request you to think in terms of fetching papers from best of the journals on what transmission technology does in terms of health repercussions, what it is doing to the other living beings, and try to find out that what kind of total losses it has brought in terms of as far as being there goes, and if it would not be there, then how we were like, and if consistently we would have been without this kind of a technology, what overall losses or gains we would have had. This is a method of analyzing on the total effects of innovation, any innovation for that matter. So first suggestion is that look around. Now you see, so look around in terms of technology, products and processes. Are we mining something to manufacture electronic equipment, especially mobile phones? Try and find out and try to look into the process as well. And what kind of costs we are paying for that, what kind of processes we are following for that, are there any socio-cultural economic costs associated with that? Try to find out. So once you will do this gain and loss analysis, look into the, and then you see this can start from gain and loss analysis, and this can even start from finding out the present repercussions of any technology or any electronic equipment you have. It's not necessary that you go for a primary survey and find out, that does your mobile phone bothers you. I have seen many people who put their mobile phone continuously on silent because somehow the ring of that mobile phone bothers them somehow. It is their fault, none of the fault of the mobile companies, of course. But again, the point is how they have reached to this fault finally. So what is, why this equipment has become the part of our bodies? It is entirely a success story for mobile manufacturing companies. But I am trying to just collate that if this innovation wouldn't have been there somehow, I don't know, and having taught the value of innovation and having used examples like Apple and these kind of organizations for n number of times, I don't know if I should exactly be talking about this and nullifying many things, but this is my duty at the end of this course, more or less, to talk about that every innovation is not worthwhile. So then try and think in terms of, this is looking around. So look at mobile phones, look at other equipment, look at your furniture, look at your automobiles, look at anything for that matter. And automobiles, I don't have to talk about, there are so many norms which are coming up, and green elements have been talked about, and several engines have been shut down, and we are replacing technology. We are doing so much, because we know that we have to do it now. So that is why I am talking about that, if that innovation wouldn't have been done somehow. So now then, look at, for example, resource based kind of a perspective. Let us say earth resources. What kind of earth resources we are using in today's processes? Of course, we have been innovating upon several kinds of processes to mine from our mother earth, and we have done so much. We know so much of technology as far as making best use of our resources in terms of our mother earth. But as we all discuss, have we overdone that? Now it's an interesting question. How did we overdo that? Somehow we were focusing upon developing the equipment for doing that, and in the meanwhile we were developing that equipment so much that ultimately we started overdoing that, because that equipment, that technology, that process enabled us so much. We have excavated almost everything, we have extracted almost everything, as people say. And again I say that I am not the expert on this fundamentally somehow. So if somehow we must think in with that kind of a perspective, that if we did not have that kind of an equipment with us, would we have been able to extract so much? So I am not saying that innovation shouldn't have been done, definitely. And then here I would say something which is very important at large. One may always contest what I am saying, that if it did not happen at all, one may say that if we would have used it rationally. Yes, I agree 100%. But the point is that if we would have been rational with every regard, in every respect, then this would have been a beautiful, then we wouldn't be so worried actually. So that is the perspective which I am trying to build up. Either we would have been rational and balanced in every approach, and we would have had consonance in every approach, that okay, I am doing this and better you do that, and we would create a balance in whole of the value chain, and we would not deviate much from these kind of targets and so on. So that debate can always be taken further with this kind of a perspective, that we are rational human beings and we should have been rational. Fine, I understand, but then we have not demonstrated that. That is why we are worried today. So that is why this came to my mind, that ultimately we should be revisiting many things, and which we shouldn't have done. Why? Because from this stage onwards, and especially this is a message for my participants, and I also tend to think that way, that somehow whatever we will be doing or we should be doing at this stage onwards, we should be analyzing that complete process for a very, very long time with an element of should. Why should and how should we be doing that? And that is the perspective I want to dwell upon at this particular kind of a stage. So, have we taken much of a coal from Mother Earth? Have we taken much of an earth from Mother Earth? Have we taken, whatever, we have been taking everything from our Mother Earth. So, have we been, should we be focusing upon this kind of an element as far as the whole scenario goes? Should we keep on extracting everything basically? Today you go to several kinds of places, and you would see that we are trying to reshape everything which nature had. We are trying to reshape mountains, we are trying to reshape ocean. They say that they are reclaiming the land. Reclaiming means that did ocean drag the land from you and you are reclaiming land? I wonder, wonder about that sometimes, but we created that kind of innovation to do that. So, and then look at water resources, and I am just talking of resources which Mother Earth has gifted us. So, water resources, and just these are so valid questions, we all of us are facing that, and you know what I am talking about. Today, water shortage is a big question, everyone is talking about it, but there are so many innovations associated with this water shortage, and that is a major point which I wish to raise, that if it did not happen at all as far as. Then look at transportation. They say that they have made this world a shorter place. I agree. I commend the technological advancements which have taken place in transportation world, and I admire. I am also very, very fond of the different kinds of automotives and aeroplanes and then trains and so on. But the point is, what did we gain at the end by making this world a shorter place? I remember when I used to travel from north to south, it used to take me 2.5 days. Today I realize what difference does it makes. If it is not an emergency wherein I have to reach there in very, very short span of time, wherein definitely there were means at that time also to reach in a shorter span of time, but the supply was low. So, in emergency that can be utilized, and for that we must have rational output, and we must have rational preparation. Today when I travel, I fly from this place to that place within 1 hour or so, but what difference does it makes? To me, I have been analyzing this many a times, but how many times I would be traveling from north to south in a year? 3 times, 4 times. And how much time would I be saving as far as the complete scenario goes? And that is how I analyze. And when I used to travel by trains in a longer kind of time span, or let us say different modes of transport, there was a lot of time I used to enjoy in thinking and writing and doing many things basically which I do not have at this moment. I switch off at one particular point of time and then switch on at the airport and then switch off at the next airport, and that is how. So, basically in totality, personally I feel, and it is my personal opinion, I have not gained too much as far as making this these distances shorter as far as the whole scenario goes. So, it is just an analogous kind of a situation which I am trying to build in front of you. I am not denouncing anything. I commend the kind of developments and innovation the world has gone through. I am a professor who is talking about innovation time and again as far as the situation goes. And then you see, while talking of earth resources, did you know that we would be using and blasting our Mother Earth with dynamite someday? It may be an overstatement, but somehow when we call Earth our mother, should we be actually creating blasts, as far as mother goes? I do not know. I may be again overstating this. I may be slightly emotional at this moment, while thinking about those kind of scenarios. But I have seen, the construction sites in natural habitats and those kind of places, and everyone has done so. So when dynamite came in, and the narrative says that people realize what have they done. So I and this was also an innovation at that time basically. So the point here is that somehow we should be looking at this with this kind of a perspective. Now, just to make things slightly lighter, social media, very big innovation. Today whole of this world feels connected, and mark my words, feels connected. Are you really connected, or are we really connected? There are some question marks, and someone categorically pointed out this morning that you should not be talking about this point because you are not on social media, and if you are not personally experiencing this, you do not have any right to denounce social media. No, I again say that I am not denouncing anything. I know people enjoy social media, people love social media, people are fond of social media, people put up their photographs now and then on Instagram, and as far as WhatsApp goes, and every moment they click photographs and they send from this place to that place, and I can see people sitting in front of me at a distance of 10 feet and messaging each other. That I can also see. But again, the point is that in classrooms, the students are sitting besides each other and they are messaging in a short kind of emojis. So teacher has several eyes many a times, and that's what I realize. People are doing that. But again, the point is that are we really connected? So this has generated connections, but are we really connected? So there are elements, but I am not denouncing it. It has done lot of good to people as well. But again, the point is that total loss and gain analysis. I again, without any I do not wish to demean anything basically, but whenever I generally talk to people about that, how do you feel about mobile phones remaining connected and so on, straight happy answers are not coming to me. And if mobile companies and social media companies are listening to me, and they are intelligent people, they definitely have larger feedback as compared to what my feedback is. They definitely know what people are talking about them, and they are social media companies, so they know what social perspective is getting developed about them. So if they know that, are they doing something about this? People are not happily expressing about being with social media, at social media and so on. People are using social media to demean and denounce many people many times. Recently I was watching a report which was coming on social media about some academic kind of thing basically, and I realized that somehow people are not looking twice while doing these kind of things. They are not analyzing things with an open mind. People have slightly become more judgmental on that. Probably I am completely wrong, but I have been reading papers and scientific papers and sociological developments which are taking place through sociology papers and psychology papers, and I realize that something is not right. If at all, everything is fine. So largely this again is a very important element. Now, after having said so much about this, please do not be offended. This is again a disclaimer that there is no intent of denouncing anything or anyone. If you are fond of social media, be happy with it, and if you are not, then think seriously why you are not happy with it. But again, when you are on social media just after this, then try and find out how great you feel in terms of as far as the scenario goes. Now let us go for some popular examples like plastic. There are several companies which have manufactured so much of plastic that if you will ask those companies themselves that what should we be doing with so much of plastic, they might not have that answer basically. When plastic got originated, it was taken to be as one of the innovations of the century. It had reliability, it had strength, it had everything, it was solution to almost everything. Today if you will just look around, you would find we are living in a plastic world basically, plastic driven world more or less. Probably I do not know it's good or bad, but everyone in this world, every single person you meet they have this question around plastic nowadays. Whenever I ask, intelligent people that what are you doing in your organizations to, to represent or to suggest that you are aware of environmental changes and you are doing something good for environment, and you are, you are an agile kind of an organization and a person, they always say that we have removed plastic bottles from our organization. First of all, that is the first thing everyone wants to do, and they feel that this is the least we can do, at least. Then I ask them that, what kind of plastic furniture or electronic equipment you have removed from your organizations. So we obviously we do not have any answer to that. So we do not know what to do with this, and so many intelligent innovations to nullify this development have taken place. We are trying to do that. There are very intelligent solutions in terms of waste management or, utilization of plastics or plastic or those kind of things are happening around. Those innovations definitely are the resultant of when we created such kind of a situation. So it's not that we have gone unidirectional. People have started going for analyzing things in terms of recycling, and innovation is being done on that end as well. Circular economy, those kind of things are being persuaded, and more or less we have started thinking in terms of, I would not say reversing everything, but we have started working on several innovations which may take us somewhere where despite of everything we still can say that we have saved many things, and we are still sustainable as far as the whole scenario goes. So that is the perspective which we are working on. And then look in e-cigarettes. Cigarettes have been a menace, and that is again my personal view, but we all know that, and then e-cigarettes on top of it. And again, I am not demeaning or denouncing anything, but if you will go into the statistics, you would realize that the effect of this innovation, so called, and I call these innovations so called innovations because I truly personally do not take this as innovations at all. I do not want to put these products into innovation category at all. But if you will look at this with the perspective of that they gained foothold and they earned money, and by that logic if you call them innovation and so on, so you would realize that e-cigarettes did wonders in terms of sales and had a huge, large level of repercussions associated with as far as this product goes. The kind of ailments that it brought in, the kind of illness it brought in, the kind of youth illness or illness infused in youth it brought in, that is humongous. The data, and when we say that youth is not well, that means the productive life of this world is getting reduced, that we all understand. Plus youth still has a longer life to face, so that life would also have repercussions. If you will look at this with this kind of a perspective, then you would realize that this one single product is responsible for so many repercussions, and that is what precisely I wish to put up in front of you. Let's look into movies, then look into series, different kinds of series. There are different kinds of platforms. People say it's entertainment, it's your choice, you watch something or don't watch something and so on. But then again keep on doing a gain and loss analysis with reference of repercussions. There was a technological development in terms of gambling as well someday, but we all realize that it has several socio-cultural repercussions also. What I am trying to say here is that let's not demean and denounce anything, but let's try and understand that innovation must have an objective in terms of larger good for this world. We revisited definition of marketing in 2007 and we brought in societal element into the definition because we knew and we wanted that marketing should solve a social purpose. It should be there for the societal development. So should be the innovation, because here we are talking in terms of innovation in marketing. So my suggestion is that every innovation in marketing we look at must have a relationship with one single thing, making this world a better place. I would be coming back to you with my concluding session next time. Till then, goodbye.